We're going to play this visual novel game called A Pinch of Magic. All right. So this game is about this girl who inherits, or she at least goes to help her grandparents who have a failing coffee shop. And there's magic involved. I don't know, I found a lot of others. I was running out, especially since they're gonna, like, all these visual novels I have found have been super short. So hopefully, let's see. There we go. Let me see if it, okay, good. We don't click out when we click out. That's good. Let me make sure. All right, I'm gonna, let me know if the audio needs to be adjusted or anything. But yeah, this is called A Pinch of Magic. Oh yeah, I've been trying to be better about this. Let me... Oops. Just a day of double music over here. I've been trying to be better about including the links to things in chat. Here's the game we're playing if you are interested in what you see. Alright, there we go. Let's just get on with it, yeah? And then if these are long enough, I'll put them up on the YouTube, which is right over here, if you would so like to join the block party over there. Yeah, without further ado, let's see what this game's all about. What is your name? Kate. That's my name. Hi, Seals. You're just in time. Starting a new cozy visual novel. Hooah! I let out a yawn. That was a yawn. I let out a freeing yawn as I leaped down from the bus onto the pavement below, bags in hand. Finally made it. Drinking in the familiar surroundings, I take a moment to execute some quick squats. Yes, gotta get the blood flowing. How you doing, Seals? She's cute. I love her. No more meetings? Yes, let's go. That gets a glitchy. Yeah. The brisk stretcher size is exactly what my compressed muscles ordered, all stiff from the several-hour-long bus ride from the city to the sea. Hello? Oh, there we go. I wonder if this is how Jack-in-the-Boxes feel when they pop out. That's good. Newly energized, I extend my arms to the tropical sun, as if to pluck it from the sky and take in a greedy lungful of delicious sea air. As always, the warm climate here on the coast feels as though it's welcoming me back home, back to the place where I belong. I've missed this, all of it, and ahead of me is a summer-long period of peace and respite. I just graduated high school, and from now on there will be no parents, teachers, or peers reminding me with every breath that I'm wading to the end of my teenage years with no direction, just the sun, the sea, and this place. My destination, the tranquil seaside town of Linsdale. Oh, this is giving me Kiki vibes. Nestled in a quiet crescent-shaped cove on the coast and licked by the starry deep blue waves of the East Sea, some people have taken to affectionately nicknaming it Moon Bay. A pretty occultic name, all things considered. Oh, let me move this because I see it's blocking. 1 second. Where are you? I got too many things on here. Where can I move you? Let's move you up here. cool. I think that should be good. I'm waiting for the double. There we go. Okay. Okay. But it always seemed perfectly apt because it's also the town my grandmother, my Baba, calls home. And she just so happens to be an exceptional and absolutely eccentric witch. Yes, Kiki time on Sunday. Thank you for reminding me. I meant to say that at the beginning that yes, we'll be doing Kiki's delivery service over in the Discord on Sunday. If you'd like to join, I believe it's going to be 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and then 8 p.m. Is it still British Summer Time? Or, British time? But yeah, over there in the Discord. Sound a bit naughty. Yeah, if people didn't know what we were talking about, it would be. Ayo. But yes, Kiki's delivery service over there in the Discord on Sunday. And then I think I'm going to try to do The Crow and maybe, I don't know, I need to do some like other Halloween movies maybe during the week or something. I wish we could do watch parties here on the channel, but alas, they did away with that. It is still the best, yeah. I'm trying to have a mix of things. I know not everybody likes the scary stuff, but still likes Halloween, So I'm trying to be all-inclusive here because Halloween is for everybody. It's the best. Oh, BST, yeah. The best and BST. Yes. Okay, gotcha. Even though it's not summertime anymore. Yes, movie night, another movie night. I love movie nights. I am enjoying bringing them back. We'll keep the Ghibli time going after Halloween too, I think, just because it's fun. I love me some Ghibli. It's healing. It's great. But yeah, I'll throw up some other Halloween movies maybe during the week coming up here. I really want to do The Crow because Barking and I bonded over The Crow in Titanic, and I feel like it'd be really fun to do The Crow. But yeah, more Halloween stuff coming up in the Discord, so make sure you hop on over there as well. All these years later, and I still wouldn't put it past her to have coined Moon Bay herself, just because it might help drum up business among the magic folk. For the first time in 3 years, she'd asked me to visit this summer, and I can't wait to resume my magic training. My fingers, electrified, are already tingling at the prospect. Yeah, sees. That's what I always think of when I hear that. I reached into the pocket of my hoodie, feeling for the letter she'd sent, making sure it's still there. Cursive and on vellum and a wax seal. Yep, nobody except that wily old woman could write like this anymore. I love a wax seal. I wish we still did that. Or send letters, I would buy one, but no, I don't send letters enough to justify it. There's no time like the present. Unable to hide my eagerness to see her again, I hoist my bags up to my shoulders and take off at a sprint up the staircase, leaving the bus stop far behind. And once I leap across the threshold of the stairway's end, I see the sight I've longed for and open my lungs wide. Hello, coffee curiosities. Okay, sorry, I did not know what that was. Hello, coffee curiosities, I'm home. My grandmother's cafe stands before me, a static monument among the other buildings, utterly unchanged, like a moment in time, perfectly preserved the way I always remembered it. Send me a letter. That could be a kind of a fun channel point redemptions. I've seen other people do that. We could be pen pals, yeah. Then I could justify buying a wax seal. I like the way you think, Seals. That might be a channel point redemption coming up. It reminds me of my childhood, of iced tea in summer, sea salt ice cream, and freer days spent under Baba's tutelage. That in itself is a rare kind of magic that leaves me spellbound, that's true. Naturally, my peppy cry draws the attention of several passers-by outside the store, many of whom recognize me and wave in greeting. Well, I'll be, if it isn't Kate. Been a spell since you've been back. I see what you did there. Still kept that strange habit of greeting the cafe like it's a person, I see. Well, she's not wrong. I guess I am a little old to be shouting in public. But as Baba used to say, a witch breathes magic and life into all things. Every word is a charm, every sentence a spell. A seal for a seal. I love it. Hold on. I'm legit going to write this down. Hold on. Letter CP redemption. Wax seal. I'm going to make it happen. Frank, what's up? How you doing, friend? Happy Wednesday. Grand Theft Auto, let's go. Now that I think about it, it's totally possible she was just hoodwinking an extremely gullible 5-year-old. But well, it's a cute tradition, so who cares? It's good. It's good. My allergies are trying to kill me, so I am sorry if I like sneeze into the mic or something. I will try to catch them, but I'm not always successful. Allergies trying to kill me, but other than that, it's all good. I wave energetically back. Hey there, it's good to see you again. Do you know if my grandmother is about? That question seems to give her pause, and she forces a smile which can only be read as guilty embarrassment. Oh, you mean she... Well, I'm not too sure. Haven't been in for a coffee for a while, you see. Anyway, nice seeing you, kid. Boo, allergies, yeah. Yeah, it's stuffy, and like I've had a headache since stream on Monday, but it's all good. I took a Claritin and an Excedrin this morning. We should be good. Hopefully. I tried to head it off. I went to bed at 8 o'clock last night. It was terrible. But it was one of those nights where I was in like so much pain that I just Tylenol PM'd it and passed out. It's fine. It's just this time of year. Terrible. But it's fine. We push through it because it's October. And it's the best. Before I've had a chance to respond, she scuttles off over the hill, leaving me stranded in confusion at the shop door. What in the hemlock was all that about? Glancing over the cafe again, my eyes narrow suspiciously and roam up and down the building. I finally notice one extremely telling clue. It's the height of morning, and yet the curtains are shut tight. Fishier still is how quiet it is. Wait, don't tell me. I practically kick the door down in my provoked state, and once inside, all of my suspicions are confirmed. Not only are all the lights switched off, but not only are there no customers, not only has the door clearly been left unlocked with complete disregard to nasty draughts, thieves, or trespassers, but on top of that, Baba is nowhere to be found. The lingering mingled fragrance of sweet teas and bitter coffees temporarily catches me off guard, filling my nose and mind with happy memories, but I quickly remember why I'm here. I stomp across the cafe floor in big strides, making a beeline for the door at the far end of the room. A door hidden behind a heavy satin curtain and bewitched to be invisible to all non-magic customers. Baba? Baba! This is kind of weird because I call my ghost Baba. So Baba, it's in the game, Baba. You can be here. I love you, but it's in the game in case he's like, what? What you want? Baba? I stop dead in my tracks. In the secret room, piled floor to ceiling with mystical objects, is Baba's crystal ball table. Yo, Scorpio, what's up? I'll be fine, Sealed. It's always like this time of year, you know? It's, ugh. Seasons changing and all that. How you doing, Scorpio? Welcome in, friend. A table radiating with memories of afternoons sitting in her lap, poring over dusty tomes and having the wonders of magic whispered in my ear. And now, on that table, clearly awaiting my arrival, is a small paper ornament, an enchanted letter folded into the shape of a miniature rabbit. When I enter the room, it turns up its ears and bounds up from its slumber, hopping to the table's edge to greet me. Oh, it's like a little fezzy. Little fez. I'm sure he's wild in wherever he is. I would recognize this magic anywhere. Baba would while away hours folding these critters for me as I studied until she had gifted me the entire animal kingdom out of paper. It never failed to put a smile on my face. Which can only mean she's buttering me up for some unsavory news. I skeptically scoop up the paper rabbit in my hand, and at the touch of my finger up its nose, it unravels itself. That would do it. Sure enough, my grandmother has inked a note in cursive inside. My dearest Kate, I have run away, Since I was the one who invited you to stay with me this summer, I'll venture that this will come as a shock to you. It wasn't part of my plan, but running the cafe was beginning to feel rather droll. Then I remembered it's mugwort season, and also that the witch folk are hosting a mushroom picking festival in the mountains. Much less droll by far. I can't argue with that. I would go to that. So hard. Do not come searching for me. Write to me, though, if you want me to bring you back some mugwort. Otherwise, I shall bring you nothing. Nothing! Take care of the place while I'm gone. P.S. I hope you have money. The pantry is empty. Wow, grandmother kind of sucks. Can't even... What? I knew it! That wayward old witch. Slumping onto one of the table's squishy cushions, I throw my arms up in defeat. I absolutely should have expected this. Flying through life by the seat of her pants, living by her every whim, dropping things when they no longer suit her. This entire situation reaches into the far recesses of my mind, conjuring up echoes of countless other past examples of how mercurial Baba could be. Closing up at noon to go skinny dipping in the ocean, hosting a luau party, then passing out after an hour on her own deadly magic punch, her crimes of capriciousness know few bounds. Aw, grandmother's a wild one. She may have taught me everything I know of magic, but early on I had to master brewing tea and coffee, not just potions, just to keep this place running smoothly. It suddenly dawns on me exactly why that passerby had acted so suspiciously. Granny crazy. Granny gone wild. I bet she cut and run days ago and told everyone in town not to breathe a word. Yep, sounds about right. No matter how you cut it, she's just running from her responsibilities again. I seriously have no clue how she managed to keep this place running all these years. Why don't you just hire her as staff, lady? My lips pressed themselves into a thin, stubborn line. Mugwort tea is my favorite, though. Sigh. I guess it's time to go shopping. Yeah, shop. An hour or so later, I've made begrudging progress on the cafe's sorry state. With the door now locked and the curtains still tightly drawn, I make use of the privacy by enchanting Baba's dustpan and broom and setting them to work on the floor. See, that's how you do it. This is like the biggest reason I'd want magic powers, so I don't have to clean. They whiz about the room in a waltz, making quick work of any dust or grime in their path. I like this song. Very coffee shoppy. After a brief inspection, all that remains in the fridge is a curdled bottle of milk. The pantry cupboards have also been harboring nothing but dust, but were saved earlier by a trip to the local supermarket. It sounds like she's been gone longer than she said. I guess, Seals, that's... But, like, don't you like money? Like, you could keep it running. I don't know. Rest in peace, poor wallet. It's kind of shitty. Luckily, it also seems the cafe's more expensive wares are in plentiful stock. Well, that's nice, at least. The exotic plethora of tea leaves and unground coffee beans have been safely stored in bags or dry containers. The siphons, mills, and other apparatus, too, are in good working order. Well, there's that, at least. Knowing Baba's devil-may-care attitude, the situation here may have been far worse. I should count my blessings she didn't let any rats inside those sacks. That moment, as if my words had personally offended her efforts, Baba's cat slinks into the room and up onto the counter to glare at me. There you are, Hannibal, a witch's familiar reduced to a rat catcher. How the mighty fall in the wrong hands. It's our cat now. But since you don't have anything better to do, if you see any about, you be sure to let me know. Or you could just catch them. When I reach across the counter to scritch beneath her neck, she forgets her grumpiness in a heartbeat and pads off into the bedroom for an afternoon nap. With the dustpan and broom soon done with their work, I thank them for their service and quickly finish putting the cupboards in order. After a satisfying stretch, I pull back the curtains to survey the place triumphantly. Watch out, Linsdale. We're back in business. Standing there with hands on hips, it's a funny feeling that courses through my chest. A kind of liberation and pride that comes with being free to wantonly spellcast for the first time in a painfully long while. I miss it even more than I thought I would. Not too rusty, though, thankfully. Now then, the last port of call is to flip that sign, and after that, I guess it's time to brew some criminally delicious coffee. Say less. But as soon as I step outside, I pause. My senses are once more splashed by the salty air, the sun's warmth, and the far-off songs of a soaring flock of seagulls. And, In my line of sight, the sea itself, a shimmering crystal blue expanse calling me back to its edge. Well, I've worked pretty hard, if I do say so myself. Just a little stretch of the legs beforehand can't hurt. And so, with slow meandering strides, I crossed the pavement and paced down the small stone staircase, heading for the beachfront. Aw. I take my time, enjoying the afternoon breeze and the journey all the way to the boardwalk and beyond. When I reach the beach edge, I slide off my shoes and press on, free and barefoot in the sand. It softly envelops my feet as I walk, like a floor made of satin. The waves, too, are like rolls of crystalline satin sheets being unraveled onto the shore, rolling over rocks, shells, and themselves, and gently slipping back to their source. As ever, Moon Bay, you're almost too perfect for words. I plop myself down in the sand, stretching out my legs and searching along the water surface for something. I wonder if she's still out there. But before I can continue that thought, the phone in my back pocket hums, and when I retrieve it, I see several texts incoming from my parents. Their messages cascade simultaneously into the group chat, making it plainly obvious they're both sitting beside each other, typing with a joint agenda. Did you arrive safely? You forgot to text us. We were worried. How's Baba? Is she doing well? How's her back? And there it is. Hold on, I have a thing for that there. There it is. I sigh, typing back my regular response whenever they awkwardly attempt to bring her up. If you're that worried, you could always, try talking to her yourself, Dad. I'm sure she'd like to hear from you. From both of you. After a brief exchange ending in I love yous all around, I fling my phone to the side and fall back onto the sand bed. The history between my parents and Baba was fractured, to say the least. In this world, where so few people are gifted with the ability to wield magic, we hide what we are for an easier life. Hundreds of years ago, those without the gift feared us, persecuted us, and worse. The world was messy. The witch folk decided, almost unanimously, that it was better to fade into anonymity. Oh god, that word. Anonymity. Than cause trouble. Anonymity. I can't do it. That word always gives me issues. Nowadays, words are hard. Yeah, if you ever want to make fun of me, I specifically have an emo because I suck at some words. Nowadays, as far as the rest of normal society is concerned, it's known that we exist out there somewhere. But rarely do you see a witch shouting it from the rooftops. Despite the good I know we do, there's no glory in it after all. So, as for my parents and Baba, well, Baba had always been an immensely talented witch. The first time I was sent here to stay with her for the summer, I was 3. She showed me a few simple spells, and even though I could barely speak, I guess I was a natural. I still remember her sweeping me up when I successfully levitated a paperclip. She was so giddy, it was impossible for her to contain herself. But my parents were different. They never taught me magic, never encouraged me to learn it. All they wished for me was an utterly normal life. They asked Baba to stop teaching me, and that was that. No! Or so they thought. When they found out I'd flown in the face of their disapproval and had secretly been studying hard under Baba every summer for 10 years. Oh boy. I remember that day. Dad's face when it shaded blue I didn't think was possible outside of being hexed. After that, their relationship became strained. They stopped talking. I became their mediator, their owl ferrying messages back and forth. I stopped visiting Lensdale for a while to give them all time to cool off. A normal life. A boring life devoid of magic. I feel empty just at the thought of it, but honestly, I don't really have the first clue about what I want to do in the future. Well, hello, Gingy. Hello. Thank you for that. If only witchfolk didn't have to hide who we are. As I raise myself back up to hug my knees, I realize that I've been absent-mindedly dragging a finger through the sand all this time. Hi. How you doing?
Hi.
No! I don't want to play FNAF. Don't make me. But thank you for contributing to the community challenge. I did add time to it since I've been gone so much. So it has been extended. Hee hee. Yeah. I don't want to play it. It's too scary. It's scary. I've drawn nothing remotely artistic, of course. Just a bunch of badly drawn swirls that barely resemble shapes at all. These are almost as terrible as Kia's. A spark ignites a recollection in my mind. A spark which sends me flying back to before I'd been interrupted by my parents' messages. Back to thoughts of a friend from long ago. Ooh, I love the pumpkin emote. That's so cute. My eyes meet the sea again. Kia's home. My childhood friend who had been as much a part of my summers in Lensdale as my grandmother. She was an extraordinary person in her own right. A mermaid who befriended a witch. Shy and a little fumbling in the beginning, she barely grasped human language. Kia was just about the only sound she could make. I love that one too. Oh my god, they're so cute. I know I need to get better. Like, I think maybe next year. I think it's like, I don't know. I guess it is only the 9th. There was like a witchy booty that I wanted. And I could replace Harley, but I was like, Harley's kind of Halloween-y. I don't know. Maybe I should do Halloween emotes. Now that you don't have to wait like 7 years to get emotes approved anymore, I should do Halloween emotes. Maybe I still will. It's only the 9th. We'd communicate by drawing shapes in the sand, and though hers were terrible, I got pretty good at deciphering them. I could still clearly remember our first meeting here on the shore. I was 5. Mom and Dad had just asked Baba to stop teaching me magic, and I was wailing into the ocean at the top of my lungs. And it was only once my tears had dried up that I noticed a curious baby mermaid who'd snuck away from home to investigate the surface, was peering at me through the waves. As I reminisce, a smile spreads across my face. Right, Seals? I don't know, maybe I'll still add the witch booty. Kia, that's right. I wonder if she and her family even still swim in these waters. With renewed purpose, I leap up and dust myself off. I tread up and down the beach, scanning the waves for any sign of movement, but, unsurprisingly, I don't find a trace of her anywhere. There isn't a fin in sight. Well, that'll teach me for being willfully optimistic. As if mermaids would ever venture this close to shore. They'd be found out in a heartbeat. Still, I haven't exhausted all the tricks up my sleeve just yet. Determined, I set off up and down the beach once again, this time with my eyes to the sand, scouring the golden floor for a very particular object. And finally, wedged between some barnacled rocks, I find exactly what I'm looking for, a prismatic conch, shimmering and weighty to the touch. And more importantly, in the hands of a witch, it's a horn that, when blown, can sing a song only a mermaid can hear. It was an ancient spell Baba taught me as a child, used by the old witches in times of strife to call mermaids to their aid. And together, Kia and I had repurposed it. Since the day we met, it had been my way of communicating to her, I'm here, I want to see you. Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out if she's still out there, listening for me. As a precaution, I spin about, checking for onlookers, but this corner of the beach is deserted. So reaching into the recesses of my mind for the ancient spell, I pluck out its melody, note by note, and whisper my request to the shell at my fingertips. White of the waves, my bottomless heart be, an ocean of love built just for thee. And if thou art astray in faraway foam, the song of my sea will call you home. As the conch begins to gleam, I gather my breath and blow gently into its tip. Whee! But no matter how many times I call, Kia doesn't appear. The waves simply keep rolling over the sand at my feet, slowly soaking in and causing me to sink. So she left in search of somewhere better after all. No Baba, and no Kia. This truly was shaping up to be a pretty miserable summer, and the pang of pain I felt in my chest is sudden but not unexpected. 3 years ago, when I said goodbye and left Linsdale, I didn't know it would be the last time. I didn't get the chance to tell her. Somewhat sad, my shoulders droop a little. Oh, she always was so timid and unsure of herself. I wonder if she waited every summer for me to come back, and I never did. But never one to let sadness get the better of me for long. I clap my cheeks together. At the very least, I know that right now, what I can do is see her off with a smile. I'm sorry, Kia, but I hope wherever you are, you're swimming happy, and that your drawings don't suck anymore. After exhaling my feelings cathartically into the afternoon air, I turn heel and head back towards the stairs. It's time to open the cafe for the evening. But as my head swims with thoughts of coffee beans, recipes, and measurements, I forget to check for obstacles in my path, and before I know it, I collide with someone else. Oh, I'm sorry. Please excuse me. The bump had successfully knocked me down a stair or two, but as I shake off the pain, her eyes meet mine. Her golden irises, her amethyst hair, everything about her beauty is dazzling, and it temporarily catches me off guard. Hold on, let's sneeze. Alright. Sorry. Allergies are killing me. Whew, I'm grateful she seems unharmed. I run my fingers through my hair, somewhat embarrassed. Not at all. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention either. Are you all right? Yes, Her quiet voice quickly trails off, but she continues to stare at me with great intensity, looking me up and down with wide eyes. Ah, that's right, the cafe. I don't have time to be wasting here. So I flash her a polite smile and, shooting back up the hill, excuse myself. Well, I'm sorry again. Have a nice evening. I'm gonna guess that's Kia. She's acting strange. Large leaping strides bring me back to the cusp of the hill in record time. With the afternoon sky already falling and fading into an orange glow, evening is practically here. I have no concrete grasp of how long Baba's cafe has been closed since she cut and run. But there's one thing I know for certain, and that's what I don't want to keep. That's that I don't want to keep the Linsdale patrons waiting any longer. It's funny. If I let slip that Baba's irresponsibleness is what put me into this mess in the first place, I'm actually excited. Rushing about, serving special blends, putting smiles on customers' faces. It was difficult at first, maybe, but I grew to love it. Positive vibes, Kate. Maybe this will be a good summer after all. With renewed energy, I begin to mentally roll up my sleeves. Yes, I love this, the pumpkin witch. Thank you for the lurk, Scorpio. Just as I round the corner, an unpleasant sight makes my newly buoyed mood sink faster than a stone anchor. What the? Directly outside the cafe, pulled unceremoniously up onto the curb, is a garish red sports car. It's brand new and clearly far too expensive to belong to any resident in Linsdale. Are you serious? What sort of self-centered idiot parks their car square in front of a shop entrance? Already ticked off, I watch as an elderly man with a cane struggles to shuffle through the gap in the pavement, grasping at the cafe wall for support. He gets his revenge as he passes by, though, flipping the bird to the car's tinted windows as he goes. You go, Grandpa. And if I had any doubts that this gaudy ride would spell trouble, they're blown away as soon as the driver steps outside. A tall blonde fop in sunglasses and a jean jacket slams the door behind him, yawning loudly. Leaning back lazily onto the car roof, he slips his sunglasses up into his hairline and clicks his tongue at the elderly man's back. I'm about to storm up and give him a piece of my mind when he pulls out his phone, the latest model it looks like, and begins snapping up landscape shots of the cafe. May I help you? Sliding his free hand casually into his back pocket, he turns to flash me a smile. It's so not cute. Are you the owner? Blonde fop. I square at my shoulders as much as humanly possible, arms folded crossly. Yes, I am. Name's Kate, and I don't appreciate you blocking the door my customers use. Customers? He cockily raises his eyebrow and looks around at the now very empty street. He pulls down his sunglasses once or twice in a mocking motion. Wow. Huh. Well, how's about that? I guess my prescription's wrong, because I don't see a single soul sniffing around. Looks like what you have here is a bona fide dead spot. Dead spot? You better not be insulting my cafe. Another condescending smile slowly stretches across his face. He is clearly looking down on me and doesn't care to provide any kind of answer. He just continues on, ignoring my question. Not an insult per se. As it so happens, this is exactly the sort of place I'm looking for. With a twinkle in his eye, he straightens up and spins his phone into both hands. His whole demeanor changes as he begins typing on the screen with lightning speed. So, what's your specialty here? Cafe Cubano? Chinese teas? Matcha? You do serve something other than salty tap water, I assume. Sure. There's a bottle of rancid milk in the fridge with your name on it. Yeah. Yes, all of those things. We aren't some backwater cafe that only serves standard drip swill. We? So you run this place with someone else? My grandmother. She's not here right now. Uh-huh. And what's this place called? Are you freaking kidding me? Look at the damn sign, poster boy. I sigh, loudly and dramatically. Coffee curiosities. His fingers pause their tapping for a moment. He takes the time to raise a smug eyebrow at me. Right. Bravo. No, really, it's inspired. A little desperate and only slightly nauseating. Bruh, I'm gonna smack this guy. He stands up straight and takes one more large, gulping glance at the cafe's facade. Then he flips his phone and snaps a headshot of my startled face. Rude! It's a perfect blend. Of material for my blog, that is. Your blog? He gives me a look that is equal parts smug and pitying. It's perhaps the most punchable expression I've ever seen. You have no idea who I am, do you? No? Wait, but now that I get a really good look at him, he actually does look somewhat familiar. Here, a souvenir. Don't bend it now. It's premium embossed. Who is this, fucking Patrick Bateman? With a wink, he slips a business card into my hand. Fancy gold script spells out cuisine blogger and the name Mikhail. Thanks. Guess I'll use it when I run out of toilet paper. Hey, yo. I snap the card from his fingers, making sure to look thoroughly unimpressed as I do. His smarmy veneer cracks just a little at that. Charmed, I'm sure. Now then, let's hope your coffee wildly lives up to my expectations, shall we? I can feel my blood boiling. The way that smirk plays at the edge of his mouth, it's perfectly obvious what his expectations are. Though I still can't place his face, I've read about bloggers just like him. Vindictive types, traipsing around the country, targeting coffee shops with small customer bases, searching for the worst of the worst for their scathing reviews, like sharks feasting on krill. For a second time, I slide my gaze grimly over his red sports car with its ostentatious wheels, shiny mirrors, and waxed gleam. I suppose when you're the scum of the surface of the industry, it doesn't matter if you destroy businesses wherever you go, as long as those clips keep coming. Well, he's not going to drag Baba's Cafe through the mud on my watch. So, here I am, in the flesh, your only paying customer and all that. I drove 2 hours from the city to find this place. Aren't you going to let me in? I stride up to the door and start to unlock it, but inwardly that boiling blood is starting to boil over. I'm in no mood to play nice. In fact, just for the audacity of coming here and trying to mess with a witch's business, I'm perfectly happy to play just a little dirty. I'm into it. That's how we feel. With the help of some magic. Yeah. Slipping my hand inconspicuously behind my back, I start to weave a spell in the air. I step towards him, all the while, a sweet smile plastered on my face. Sure, I don't have a problem with that. You're welcome to try my coffee. Quickest way to get you off my property. But you might not want to step inside just yet, because... Ooh. Do we distract or prank? Ooh. Whoa. I really want to prank him. Let's prank him. It is trick or treat time, by the way. You left the handbrake off in your car. What? He spins about just in time to see his shiny red ride slowly slipping back down the hill on loosened wheels. That's more than a prank, but sure. I love it. I'm here. Bianca, come back. Mikhail bolts immediately, tripping over himself down the uneven cobbled street in pursuit. Oh, if he falls, that's just double points. Pfft, That car's moving so slowly. He'll manage. It's fine, right? Bianca! Well, that was, like I said, that was kind of more than a prank. It's like destruction of property, but sure. I guess some pranks are. Oh, sorry. I thought it was going to be like, not that. And down goes Mikhail like a sack of spuds. What if this car runs him over? Oh, no. His face acquaints themselves with the pavement with a colossal clap. I mean, it's not like, I did say if he falls, that's double points, right? Uh-oh. The car, too, reaches the steep incline and starts to speed up. Oh, no. Oh, no, don't do this to me. This is what I get for being a Sith sometimes. Nobody is going to catch it on foot now. I stretch out my arms, frantically inking a new magic circle in the airspace in front of me. But I'm unable to cast the reversal magic in time, and the car careens into a lamppost. After a few teetering seconds, said lamppost tips forward, but thankfully stops, just short of smashing into the roof. Oops. Mikhail rushes forward and falls upon the car in misery, like a man whose soul has just been crushed. Whoopsie. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Not like this. Bianca, my darling, no. No! Oh god. Father is going to kill me. Ring, ring. With timing so impeccable, I am almost convinced I somehow cast a second spell. Mikhail's phone explosively starts to ring. Upon seeing the caller ID, the blood drains from his face. Beep. Father? It's good to hear from you. No, I'm fine. You're back from Hawaii? Well, yeah, of course I can. But, Father, about the car you bought me, well, see, it's a funny story. Having completely forgotten me, Mikhail woefully shuffles away, out of earshot, to take the phone call. Sorry. That wasn't my fault, right? Yes! Nah. Nah, accident, Kate. Not vandalism. Just an accident. Yep. Nothing to worry about. And so, mostly smug, yet just ever so slightly regretting my influence on this turn of events, I take the opportunity to back away through the cafe door, swinging the sign to open along the way. Sorry. Don't be an asshole. I don't know. The minutes and then tens of minutes painfully tick by. Not a single potential customer steps inside, or even hazards a peek through the windows. I start by leaning over the counter, head in palms, alternating between watching the clock hands and the bell above the door. But I quickly get bored and my twitchy hands tap the counter, searching for something to do. Mikhail's business card is nearby, exactly where I'd thrown it earlier, so I retrieve it and twirl it about absentmindedly. Let's find out how famous this guy really is. Whoa, seriously? A quick phone search pulls up hundreds of results. Blog posts with hits into the tens of thousands. Sponsorship ties to the prominent worldwide cafe chain Moonbucks. That's funny. A hefty follower base on social media, and even a narcissistic modeling portfolio of monochrome shirtless photographs. Just great. As if I don't have enough problems right now. Gah. And what's with these pictures? He's dripping wet in half of them. Did someone turn on a hose or something? So stupid. Now, more irked than ever, I chuck my phone aside and go back to watching the clock. All this inactivity is doing nothing except stiffening my muscles and making me anxious. 30 minutes and not a whiff of anyone. Not even one of the regulars. This can't be right. I recall my previous summers here, when there were always non-magics and witch folk around, mingling, joking, and shooting friendly banter back and forth with Baba. Back then, her cafe had never seemed wanting for patrons. Each day, a steady stream of satisfied customers would come and go at an even pace. It had never been busy, but it was comfortable. Sure, it's unlikely that there'd be a lot of witch folk making the trip right now. No doubt they're all up at that mountain top with Baba, picking mugwort and betting on drunken duels. I mean, that does sound fun. But for there to be non-magics around... but for there to be no non-magics around either? I glance back at the clock, disappointed by what I see. It's far too late now to be trying to pluck customers off the street, but if I root around, there may be something of use laying around somewhere. So, determined to be productive in some capacity, I trawl through some of the lower kitchen cupboards, hoping to find something to use to attract new customers in the morning. Sensing activity, Hannibal slinks into the kitchen and curls around my leg. With a pointed meow, she leads me to a hatch under a rug on the floor, below one of the open cupboards. Nice. Good job, Hannibal. She purrs silkily and continues to circle around as I rummage through the contents of the hatch box. There isn't much of use, but I do stumble on an old signboard for advertising and some pastel chalk sticks. Yeah. This is perfect. If I spruce it up a little, it'll do for a mini menu at the end of the street. Hannibal pokes her little head beneath my arm, demanding scritches for her hard work. I'm so distracted I fail to hear the bell chiming at the door. Good girl. Who's going to get some fishy wishies tonight? That's right. You are. Excuse me? Ow! Just a second. I'll be right with you. Clutching the bruised crown of my head that just exchanged blows with the cupboard door, I totter embarrassedly back onto my feet and heave myself over the counter. A radiant sight greets me. Oh, hello. Fishy wishies? Sorry. I was talking to the cat. Oh, I remember you. Her eyes visibly sparkle and her cheeks pinken. You do? Of course, the lady from the beach, right? I'm so sorry again for bumping into you back there. Oh, no, that's quite all right. So that's what they meant. Somehow she looks kind of sad. Did I say something wrong? An awkward silence settles over us. As it stretches on, she starts to comb a finger nervously through her loose curl of hair. Well, this is a fine way to start the evening, by making my only customer uncomfortable. Applying my kindest, most sincere smile, I gesture towards one of the seats at the counter. I can at least salvage the situation by acting professional now. Where are my manners? You're here to order, right? What can I get you? We have a menu around here somewhere. As I rummage around behind the counter, though her body language is shy, the woman's striking sandy eyes watch me intently. I can't help but feel a little nervous. Ah, here it is. I slide the menu across the counter, a lavish high-end tablet listing all our served items, including coffee bins, black, white, and green teas, small meals, and desserts. But this tablet, much like the cafe itself, has a mystical secret up its sleeve. A coffee cup-shaped tab on the screen, enchanted to be invisible to non-magic customers, conceals a hidden second menu, one that displays some of Baba's oldest potions and other recipes designed for more magical patrons. I admit, I was surprised earlier to find such a thing myself. A paper menu was all that had existed before. But the tablet looks brand new and screams impulse purchase, which unfortunately also happens to be one of Baba's many bad habits. I mean, fucking big same. The woman graciously takes the tablet from me. Tucking a periwinkle curl behind one of her stylish earrings, she begins scrolling intuitively through the menu. She's so elegant and glamorous, and her eyelashes have this beautiful dewy quality to them. Little black waves breaking on the beach at night. So strong was that association, I was curiously struck by a sense of familiarity. But then, you have nothing new on the menu, I take it? Ah, sorry, you could say I'm somewhat of a regular here. I know this place and its owner very well. Oh, then I take it you also know my grandmother is out of town right now? I do, but it's no trouble at all. I didn't come here today to see her. Oh. She tilts her head shyly. It's a devastating move, but I don't think she's doing it on purpose. Is she enjoying her vacation? Oh yeah. I'm sure she's having a whale of a time. Get it? She pulls stunts like this far too often. I'm half convinced she dragged me back here just to rope me into running this place for a few weeks. Half convinced? Why aren't you full convinced? And she literally said that. The woman shuffles somewhat bashfully in her seat, lowering her eyes to her lap. Well, if it brought you back to Linsdale, then I'm glad she did. Just think of this as a salacious encounter. Did she mean to say serendipitous? With a gentle smile, she clears her throat and taps the screen with her nail. The highlighted drink is the salty kelp latte, a popular sea-based item from the secret menu. This one, if I may, it's my usual order. Oh, she's magic. Sure thing. It'll be just a moment. I flash her a knowing smile before stepping over to the kitchen area to prepare her order. As I lay my hands on the glass bottle of kelp leaves, a spark of inspiration hits me. And so Oh. I think, since she knows it so well, we'll just do it normal. We'll do it normally. Nah, I may be itching to use some magic, but there's no need to show off. She might not appreciate her latte floating all over the shop. So instead, I get to work quietly and efficiently as the kitchen counter, preserving the energy I would have spent using magic. First, using the mortar and pestle, I grind the kelp blades into algae powder and lightly dust with sugar. Then, I slide a jug of fresh milk under the coffee machine's steaming wand. It soon fluffs up deliciously with tiny micro bubbles. Perfect. All right, maybe a little flourish couldn't hurt. I glide across the floor, spinning a cup and saucer into the woman's hands. My deft fingers pour the powder into the basin of the cup, with a dash of seawater on top. Lastly, raising the milk jug to a high angle, I let it pour. It cascades down into the cup like a silken waterfall, warming all it touches. A twirl of the spoon, and the drink is made. The woman's eyes light up, and she takes a big, delighted sniff of the sweet and salty steam rising up to tickle her nose. What a heavenly smell! And now, for the finishing touch. Could you tell me your name? She looks agitated, as if she had particular trouble answering the question. It's, Kiana. All right, sit tight, Kiana. It's Kia. I reach across the counter for a thin, nozzled bottle filled with caramel, and in small, delicate letters, I write her name across the milk foam. And there we have it. Bon appetit! As she pulls the drink to her lips, the warm steam brings a soft flush to her cheeks. A small, content sigh escapes her as she returns the cup to the saucer. So, my salty kelp latte, does it meet the mermaid's approval? Yes, very much so. It's scrumptious. Glad to hear it. But I'm pretty sure you meant scrumptious. Oh my goodness. This is embarrassing. Human language is still so, hard? Right. I've been studying so much, but I still mess up all the time. Her whole face breaks out in a fierce flush. The quiet elegance I'd seen in her earlier had just completely peeled away. Nothing could have prepared me for this. It's like her demeanor has done a complete 180. I thought she was demure, but I guess she's just shy about making mistakes in front of a human. So very demure. Either way, it's absolutely adorable. Don't apologize, it's cute. The way you mix up your words, it reminds me of... No way. Kia? Yeah. And so, I've been visiting the cafe ever since my Brenneling ended. I suppose I look quite different now, don't I? That's quite the understatement. I didn't recognize you at all. An hour later, Kia and I are sitting together, lattes in hand, at the counter. We've been talking so animatedly, I barely think either of us have paused for breath. By now, I recognize her familiar shyness and her adorable mannerisms, but I have to admit, seeing her adult human form for the first time is still throwing me for a loop. Perfectly understandable when I consider she still looked like a child 3 years ago. The changes to her face, in particular, are profound but not unexpected. After all, I know very well that mer people experience growth very differently from humans. A mer person's childhood, their Brenneling period, would last from the time they hatched until they reach a normal age of human adolescence. Throughout the Brenneling, mer children would barely appear to age at all, maintaining a childlike appearance for years and years. And then, at the Brenneling's end, what awaited them was a highly accelerated transformation into an adult body, and the ability to adopt a human form. After I met Kia, because we couldn't really communicate at first, I remember wanting to learn more about her kind. I found out about the Brenneling and the change through one of Baba's old books. And as I also recall, I had to climb up her bookcase like a monkey to get it, and slipped on the way up. Kia cried for hours when I turned up at the beach covered in bruises. So, when did your Brenneling end? When I was about 17. It was a year and 3 months after you left. Not that I was counting. When she catches me smiling, Kia turns away and scrambles for her drink. It's the cutest thing. But I'm suddenly reminded of something else. Wait, earlier, didn't you say your name was Kiana? Ah, well, after you didn't seem to recognize me at the beach, I was a little embarrassed. She sighs heavily, resting her hand over her heart. And even though I came to the cafe just to see you again, I still couldn't bring myself to say anything. Oh, but Kiana is the land name I chose for myself. Oh, okay, yeah, I was sorry, I thought that was me. But Kiana is the land name I chose for myself, so I wasn't exactly lying to you. I just had trouble pronouncing it when we were children. I do use it around Linsdale. My family on the ocean still use my sea name, of course. I probably shouldn't pry into that. Mermaid sea names are private, intimate things, after all. I guess I should be careful not to call her Kia too much around town, though, either. With that niggling question out of the way, I loop the conversation back around to what really matters. So, how was it? Your change, I mean. Oh, it was, better than I expected. The growing pains were bad for a while, but compared to the others who experienced it at the same time, my change was relatively quick. She takes the last few steps of her latte, then lays the empty cup down and fingers it pensively. I'm just happy that my outside family matches who I am inside. When we used to play on the beach together, we couldn't go far because, well, I was a mermaid. I chuckle as I head back around the kitchen counter to wash our cups and saucers. No legs? Right. You were growing up, and in my mind, I was growing up with you. But physically, for me, nothing was changing, and every year it felt like you were getting further and further away, and there was nothing I could do about it. We used to draw so many shapes in the sand, all the things I wanted to do, all those places I wanted to visit. But because of me, we couldn't do any of it. Her eyes glaze over. She suddenly looks quite dejected. Not wanting to watch her beat herself up, I take her hand in mine. But we can now, right? Exactly. No more hiding in the rock pools or covering up her fins with a blanket I brought from the cafe. We can stray as far from the beach as we like now. Go anywhere we want. Now that you have your human form, the world is your oyster. You just let me know what you want to do and we'll go do it. It works like a charm. Kiana's sandy eyes light up and she leans across the counter, brimming with excitement. Okay. Oh, but with your grandmother gone, you'll be working here full time, won't you? Then, until we can do something, I'll just stop by every day to see you. I shrug my shoulders, gesturing towards the empty room in an exaggerated way. Thanks. I'd appreciate the company in more ways than one. As you can see, this place isn't exactly hoppin'. Without a regular or two, quite honestly, I might struggle to make ends meet this summer. And based on today, I'll take just about any customer I can get. Anyone but that vain fop, anyhow. The more I remember his smug face, the crabbier I get. It's at the point when I realize that I'm not so much drying the cups as grinding the tea towel into them that... Jingle, jingle. The bell at the door rings for a second time. Welcome, just take a seat and I'll be with you straight. Speak of the devil. Mikhail strides inside, looking the interior over with both hands shoved into his jean pocket with a slightly furrowed brow. He's looking decidedly less cool and collected than this afternoon, though it's obvious he's trying his best to mask it. Nice place you have here. The drafty cracks in the wall are a particularly nice feature. Ugh, he is not cute. Not at all. My jaw joints creak like unoiled metal as I force a smile. Lindale's tourism prides itself on the town's invigorating beachy sea breeze. Why deprive our customers just because they're indoors? Cute. Very cute. I know, I'm very cute. Sensing Kiana's discomfort, I gestured to the counter seats with an audible huff. Well, sit down if you're here to order. You are here to order. Mikhail slides into the seat directly beside Kiana. He beams obnoxiously as he pulls out his phone. Of course, and I don't need a menu. Just serve me your best attempt at coffee. You gonna pay for it? Please, of course I will. I'm not trying to put you out of business. Though I retreat to the back of the kitchen to begin scooping and grinding the coffee beans, I keep one watchful eye on Mikhail at all times. Thankfully, though his gaze is still roaming all over the interior, he isn't trying to snap pictures. This game makes me want to play that. There's a game called Coffee Talk that I've been wanting to play. I'm gonna write that down. Maybe we'll play that in like November. But it's obvious he's searching for something, a juicy tidbit, a draw for his story. And so, after his eyes complete their rounds of the decor, they naturally come to fall on his neighbor. Are you a regular here? Yes, I come here most every week. Its eyes widen in genuine surprise. Really? What's your usual order? If it's that good, maybe I should have ordered that too. Oh, She flutters her eyes to me, begging for assistance, but I'm way ahead of her. I make the 3 strides back to the counter in a heartbeat and step in. She's a special customer. Her order's not on the menu, and it's shall we say, an acquired local taste. I doubt you'd like it. Gotta admit, though, I'm sorely tempted to put seawater in his coffee, just for the heck of it. Must resist. We already wrecked his car. I think we got our revenge. Well, that's a shame. You'll have to let me in on the secret of that drink sometime, Miss. Ever sweet and polite, Kiana holds out her hand to introduce herself. Kiana. Just Kiana is fine. And I'm afraid I don't know much about the recipe, or coffee for that matter. Just as I become concerned that Mikhail might be about to defile Kiana's hand with a kiss, another one of those pretentious business cards appears in his hand and he drops it into hers. Enchanté. I'm Mikhail, and I just happen to be an expert on coffee. I'm a cafe blogger. Oh, cuisine? It's pronounced cuisine. She wasn't wrong. Kiana, it means food. I turn to Mikhail and scramble for a cover-up. She's not from around here. But her accent. He doesn't look convinced at all, but thankfully, Kiana's pure-hearted curiosity comes to the rescue. You write about food? Then you're here to write about coffee curiosities? Yes, that's the intention. No doubt you've heard of my... But Kiana has already stopped listening. Kate, this is perfect. Now you won't have to worry about finding customers. Once he tastes your coffee, he's sure to love it. And if he writes something good, people will come from all over Linsdale. Kiana, my sweet summer child, your innocence is wasted on him. He's not that kind of blogger. As I slowly churn the coffee grinder, I give Mikhail a disapproving side eye, and he shifts in his seat. The twitchy guy sitting beside you only visits coffee shops he expects to be bad. His blog is just a collection of hatchet jobs designed to be shocking and to tank any business he writes about. He's only here because he thinks my coffee is going to taste so undeniably terrible, it'll make for a juicy article. With one last yank, I grind the last of the coffee beans into dust. Or have I missed anything out? Mikhail practically rolls his eyes into the next century. Hey now, you make it sound like I'm the enemy here. Ask my darling readers and they'll tell you. The only 2 things I'm guilty of in this business are being criminally handsome and honest. Blah. And the coffee they served at all those other cafes just happened to be honestly awful. So just think of it this way. This is your perfectly fair chance to impress me. Not that you will. I've savored all the finest blends this world has to offer. But you're welcome to try. It seemed to take Kiana a few minutes to process all of this information. I guess she still isn't all too knowledgeable about this side of human society yet, but once it does click into place, she looks crushed. But how could you do something like that to hardworking people? That's so despicable. And I guess that one was supposed to be despicable. I'm happy she has my back, but Kiana's just wasting her breath. Besides, this coffee critic just unwittingly challenged a witch. I'm not the one who's about to be eaten alive. It's alright, Kiana. He has the right to do what he likes, and so do I. All I have to do is prove him wrong. So go ahead. With a single finger, I slide a cup across the counter in one fluid motion. It stops just shy of Mikhail's hand, taunting him like a gauntlet being laid down in a declaration of war. It emits a powerful bitter aroma so tantalizing that it clings to the air and doesn't let go. A mouth-watering aroma no person could resist. The secret house blend, with a little pinch of something special mixed in. I sneak Kiana a mischievous wink, and she understands my meaning implicitly. Drink up. You won't be disappointed. What's the matter? You should drink it before it gets cold. I won't let you use the excuse that it was bad simply because you ruined its flavor by letting it sit too long. Brimming with devilry, I decide to push him just a little harder. As the expert here, you wouldn't want to make that mistake, would ya? Watching him squirm and tug at the collar of his jacket, I realize I'm enjoying myself far too much. Still, I don't take my eyes off him. I stare him down until he finally gives in, puts the cup to his lips, and... all that bravado and it's mediocre, after all. He takes another sip. Exactly. It's completely... and another. Completely... and another. And another. And another. He drinks and drinks until the veneer rips away, and he finally throws his head back, shamelessly chugging the hot liquid until he has lapped up every drop, and the bottom of the cup is all that remains. This reminds me of a movie from the 90s called Simply Irresistible, with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Sean Patrick Flannery. It's cute, if you're into that. Like a rom-com. I don't think her business is failing, but she's like a chef that enchants her food, so people keep coming back. And I think he's like a food critic or something. It's cute. I recommend. Ha! Hunching over, he slams the cup down on the counter and stares at it in dumb disbelief. He's shaken and a little breathless, and there's something clouded about his expression. Delicious. Thank you. It's 9 p.m. Closing time draws near on this, my first day of running the cafe. As I finish scribbling down orders onto a pad of receipt paper, I rip the page out and hand it over. So, 3 secret blends, 1 small, and 2 grandes. That'll be 7 gold. It's a lot of coffee for nighttime. He's been scowling like this ever since he finished his first cup. Truthfully, he looks more mystified than anything else. After the first cup, he'd sat shell-shocked for several minutes, then sprung up and demanded 2 more of the same drink in quick succession. When they were ready, Kiana and I had huddled together, watching him discreetly over the tops of our own lattes. He never took more than 1 small sip at a time, crossing his arms and quietly ruminating over the taste before going back for another sip. We lost count of how many times he furrowed his brow, how many pictures he took, or how many notes he typed into his phone. After half an hour, I thought he'd finally admitted defeat, but... Mikhail? 7 gold? Right now, Mikhail is clutching onto his gold, pouting comically. He looks like a child who doesn't want to give up his favorite marbles unless his parent agrees to trade him a cookie. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I almost feel sorry for him. No matter how hard he racks his brain, he's never going to figure out the secret. Wait. Why do I feel more guilty for cheating at coffee than I did wrecking his car? Oh, right. Yeah. Here. Thanks. Here's your change. I don't get it. How? Tell me how. It's all finally too much for his pride, and he explodes, slamming his hand down onto the counter. Bubs, what are you doing here? You cutie. Oh yeah, you have a sound command here now.
You're the most not the breast. You're the most breathtaking.
The most breast bubbles. Go give Bubs a follow. Lovely Bean. How are you doing? Did you get some good sleepies? I love it too. Ah, shit. So good. You're the most breast around. I couldn't resist. It's all finally too much for his pride, and he explodes, slamming his hand down on the counter. How is your coffee that good? This place has terrible reviews everywhere. Oh yeah, I hope that went well. Yes. Oh, nap because you woke at 5 a.m. Yes, definitely get you some resties. I'm good, despite my allergies trying to kill me. I went to bed at 8 o'clock last night because I was in so much pain. I just Tylenol PM'd it. Went to sleep. And I don't know. I tried to head it off today by taking a Claritin and not a Tylenol PM. A Claritin and an Excedrin. So I'm feeling okay. But I hope your mom's appointment went well. And yes, definitely get you a good nappy in if you need it. It's a dead spot online. There's no way the coffee could be this good. Wait, terrible reviews? When he sees that I have no intention of answering him, Mikhail clasps his head, defeated, and sighs. He's still pouting like a little kid. Tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow to make absolutely sure it wasn't a fluke. I'm not writing my review until I know you're not cheating. So bring your A game. Oh, I will, Mikhail. I will. Yeah, so far it's good. So far, so good. And they're supposed to both be 24 hours because I am trying to do longer streams these days. So this is my first day of trying to do a longer stream. So hopefully. Yes. Thank you. Please take care of yourself. Looking forward to it. Ugh. He concedes and stomps away to gather up his phone, and he moves out of earshot. A very apologetic-looking Kiana takes his place. She leans in and whispers in my ear, "Is he going to be all right? He looks kind of upset." He'll get over it, and I have a feeling he might turn out to be quite useful. As I'd done for Mikhail, I write out her receipt and pass it on. "Here you go. How are the lattes? Not salty enough?" She puts her hand to her face, cheeks pink with contentedness. "Not at all. They were perfect. Even more so than your grandmother's." Hey, let's go. "Your kelp lattes leave me feeling completely refreshed." Being out of the sea for so long sure must be tough, huh? Anytime you need a pick-me-up, you know where I am. Thank you. Just as Mikhail is making his way back, Kiana puts her hand into her purse, fishing around for gold. She's fumbling a little, like she's having trouble. What's he coming back for? I forgot. Maybe she doesn't even know how human currency works yet? But before I can cover her, Mikhail steps forward trying to act chivalrous. "No need to be flustered. I've more than enough for the both of us." "Oh, it's fine, I think. Here, is this enough?" She tips out the entire contents of her purse onto the table. A whopping shiny mountain of gold. Individual coins spill off the counter onto the floor. What the? Kiana? It was 8 gold, not 800. Oh. Well, that's okay. I have so much anyway. Just take it. Damn. Okay. She turns to Mikhail with the sweetest innocent smile. "Would you like me to pay for yours too, Mr. Mikhail?" Oh wait, that's the wrong. I was meant to play this one. That was an unknowing burn, but it was still a burn. That's funny. No, it's mumbling something about how he'd already paid. Mikhail picks his jaw up off the ground and quickly sees himself out. Did I say something wrong? No, you didn't. Don't worry about him. I paused, thinking back to what Mikhail had let slip earlier. Kiana, this cafe, does it have a bad reputation in Linsdale? Late into the night, I'm staring absent-mindedly into Baba's crystal ball with my head on the table, a fuzzy blanket around my shoulders, and Hannibal in my lap. Baba's rabbit-shaped letter is still hopping about on the desk, deftly dodging all of Hannibal's impish paw swipes. All around us, the dustpan and broom go about their nighttime cleaning. Sweep, sweep. Sweep, sweep, sweep. I still can't stop thinking about it. Terrible reviews. That's what he said. Kiana doesn't seem to know anything about it, but then again, I doubt she'd pay much attention to something like that. No reason not just to find out myself once and for all. I slip my phone from my pocket, punch in a few keywords, and hit enter. Sure enough, it turns up a dozen results, none of them good. About this, at least, it turns out Mikhail hasn't been exaggerating after all. Dismal star ratings, mention of the crummy decor, photographic evidence of bad service. There's even one that looks like a secret shot taken from under someone's armpit. Oh. No way. Baba's just plain asleep in this one. At the counter. Just not even trying to hide it. All of the public reviews, at least, seem to have been written from the point of view of outsiders, but that doesn't comfort me much. It only means that the Linsdale residents still care enough about Baba as a friend to not out her online. And let me guess, all these ratings go back, 3 years. Not so subtly back to the end of my last summer at Linsdale. Suddenly, extremely irked all over again, I grab a pillow and hurl it in the general direction of the bookcase. Several old ledgers come tumbling down and clatter on the ground. Honestly, Baba, you're a powerful witch. If you didn't want to run a cafe in the first place, why didn't you just go do literally anything else? This is exactly why Dad's always worried about you. After screaming out some of my frustrations into the void, I haul myself over to the tatty pile of books and start gathering them up. Hannibal trots near, stepping all over the ledgers, then curls up on them for a snooze. She's about as helpful as a sixth toe. Ooh, yes, I will read you to sleepies. Get comfy, cozy. Welcome to the neighborhood reading time. And what about you, Didn't think to mention that tidbit, did you? The truth is, even if her heart had never really been in the cafe, I know exactly why Baba chose to stay in Linsdale all these years. Once she'd laughed and told me it was just because she could lie in the sand in a bikini, drinking coconut juice every day. But really, it was because of all the shirtless surfers, wasn't it? Yeah, probably. I pick up the last of the ledger, shaking Hannibal off the cover, but I stop when I realize it's this year's edition. Something in me holds back from returning it to the shelf before taking a peek inside. A feeling, or more like a terrible witch's intuition, that Baba had one more bony skeleton in her closet, waiting for me to discover it. Her escape, the bad reviews, the empty pantry, the shifty locals, even the brand new tablet, all the clues were aligning to suggest one very damning picture. So I thumbed through the first few pages and... Sorry, all this coffee talk makes me want coffee. My face grows ashen. I knew it. She's totally broke. It's almost as if I can feel the skeleton of fate springing from the darkness of the proverbial closet to put its hands around my neck. But that's not all. At my feet, the tiny paper rabbit bounds up, cruelly announcing, by a cute tilt of the head, that it has one more message for me. It levitates up and unfolds itself in the air, stopping at eye level. A space at the very bottom of the letter slowly stains with ink, a second postscript that had been hidden until this exact moment. Kate, P.P.S. That's right, I'm broke. Don't know how that happened, really. Be a dear and sort something out before I have to file for bankruptcy. I would like to be a partner after all this, grandmother. Jeez. I believe in you. Cute. That's great. Thanks. Oh, look at the kitty. Cute kitty. At the crack of dawn, the alarm goes off. My eyes snap open and I launch myself out of bed, almost burying a sleeping Hannibal in the duvet I shake off. After a brisk run on the spot, I slap my face a few times until I'm absolutely fully awake and ready to deal with this nightmare situation. Alright, action plan for today. Step 1. Get dressed. I tear the wardrobe door open, throwing whatever I touch first onto my body. Being fashion conscious isn't going to make a difference today. Okay. Step 2. Don't think about how much pain you're going to inflict on Baba when she shows her face. No plotting, no curses, no hexes, nothing. Focus. Today is about customers, cash, and coffee. Nothing else. But mostly cash. Yeah. I leave the bedroom behind and hurry down the corridor toward the kitchen, snapping life into the closed curtains and air conditioner with my fingers as I go. Cool air and sunlight flood the room just as I step outside to flip the sign. With the sign set to open, I pause briefly to place a kind hand on the warm cafe wall and take in the crisp, briny morning. Morning, coffee curiosities. It's a beautiful day. Step 3. Save this place. Save my home. Ugh, not you. Tell me, because I'm dying to know. Did the bricks ever talk back? I turn about to see him grinning mischievously, and clearly in a better mood than I'd expected today. The bare skin peeking out above his t-shirt is already glistening a little from the tropical morning heat. You look... Don't say cute. Don't say cute. Don't say cute. Sweaty. Do you like sweaty? He throws his head back, laughing at my reaction, before taking a few steps closer. I'm just teasing. Mostly. Listen, I did some thinking last night over the, quite honestly, very subpar hotel I stayed in. My car's in for repairs, so it looks like I'll be stuck here for a while, you see. So I'm not here for a fight, but so long as I'm here, I will take another cup of that special house blend of yours every day, for research purposes only. The image of the dusty old pile of ledgers in Baba's secret room flashes up in my mind. The red ink scrawled across their pages, the zeros backing every number. Suddenly, I'm feeling very amenable to keeping Mikhail around as much as possible. You'll never figure out the recipe for that blend. But you spend 20 gold a day at least for as long as you're here, and maybe I'll agree to let you in on the secret. A slow smile spreads across his face. Fine. Well, come in then. You're darkening my doorstep. He actually laughs a little at that. Charming. Don't I even get a hello? Oh, 'cause you said hello to me. I reserve hospitality for customers I actually like. Burn. At the end of his second grande-sized cup, Mikhail composes himself, then pleats his fingers together and rests his arm on the counter. It's passable. Wouldn't kill you to exercise humility for 2 seconds and just admit it's the best coffee you've ever tasted. Now that the shock of the first dozen sips and the feeling of being put on his backside has worn off, it seems like Mikhail's able to at least pretend to be critical of the taste. Well, I suppose there's something to be said for the magic gradually losing its potency the more it's ingested. Nothing I can do about that. So, enlighten me. What's that? Mikhail tilts his chin toward the small signboard and chalk sticks I'd found yesterday inside the hatchbox, which are now lying on the countertop, waiting to be transformed into an advertising masterpiece. What? We were supposed to do that last night. Coffee Curiosities is scrawled across the top in multicolored chunky block letters, along with a cascading list of some of the more attractive items on the menu. I wrote the wording late last night, but the sign's still most definitely missing some much-needed pizzazz. Oh, that. It's step 1 of my grand marketing master plan. If that's your best attempt at marketing, I bet your first idea was a train wreck. How about you let the clear expert here give you some tips? In return, you give me that recipe. Oh, gee. How about, no? Yeah. Just as he's opening his mouth again, the bell at the front door jingles, cutting Mikhail's needling short. Moments later, Kiana shyly peers inside. Oh, hey. Morning. Good morning, Kate. Ah, and Mr. Mikhail. Good morning to you, too. Kiana takes a seat Kiana takes a seat beside Mikhail, and while I start to mix her up a kelp latte, she spots the signboard and pastel chalks laying on the side. Her eyes immediately light up. Oh, you're making a cuisine menu board? Cuisine menu board, Kiana. And yep, some drawings of teacups or cute animals, and it'll be ready to go outside. Can I help with the pictures? Sure. I mean, go ahead. Knock yourself out. It'll be okay, right? I mean, her drawings must have improved at least a little bit, right? That's a pretty lousy interpretation of a penguin. Penguin? No, that's a tuna in a top hat. Alright, now that's definitely a giraffe, right? Oh no, not like this. Actually, it's an oarfish. A pelican? This one's a seahorse. It's like me trying to draw. At least they're all sea-themed. By now, the board is so smudged with chalk residue, there's nothing to be done but erase everything and start over. I quickly put a hand on Kiana's sagging shoulder before she can do any more good-intentioned damage. Don't worry, Kiana. If you want to help with marketing, you can help me with something else, okay? Okay. Why are you doing this? Is the cafe in a lot of trouble? I had been delicately wiping the board clean with a wet cloth, but Kiana's comment stops me in my tracks. Since the moment I'd woken up this morning, I've been putting on an energetic front, deliberately avoiding negative thoughts to trick even myself into believing I could do this alone. But truthfully, I'm floundering, and I don't want to lie to Kiana. So, despite Mikhail's snooping, beady-eyed presence, I decide to come clean. Well, actually. After openly divulging the situation and the alarming state of the ledgers I'd found the night before, Mikhail and Kiana both sit quiet and pensive for a minute. Surprisingly, Mikhail is the one to break the silence. Unsurprisingly, he goes straight back to the judgmental jabbing. Well, well, well. I may get some juicy tidbits for my blog yet. He leans back, shrugging his shoulders in a smug, exaggerated way. I mean, really, what did you expect? This place is practically falling apart. I begrudgingly cast my eyes over the room, unable to deny it. Ugh, I know. And there are earthquake-level cracks in the floor. I know! And the owner has a nasty habit of being mean to 50% of their paying customers. Do you take pleasure from being equal parts correct and infuriating? Always. Just when I expect him to follow up with yet more insults, Mikhail's face grows uncharacteristically serious. Look, just because your coffee is actually somewhat decent, I'll level with you. You want to dig yourself out of this mess? There's only one tool that's going to serve you best as a shovel. He slips his phone from his pocket and holds it up to my face as evidence. 3 words. Social media campaign. You need money, and the only way to guarantee that is to drag customers in on a wave. New people, city people, people willing to spend, outsiders who will flock to this place for the authentic cook after you've spruced it up a little. Because let's face it, nobody in this town is willing to come here. Drop Linsdale like they've dropped you. You don't need them. What you need is fresh blood, an aggressive strategy. And luckily for you, I'm feeling unusually sympathetic, so I'll extend an olive branch just this once and help you make that happen. The bulk of his speech wrapped up, Mikhail leans back with his arms behind his head, a small smile playing at the edge of his mouth. Well, it's not like you'd stand a chance of using this method without me. Looks like I'll have to agree to be your knight in shining armor just this once. Ugh. Actually, Mikhail, that's my background, so I got her. Okay. I think you're wrong. As I glance over at Kiana, I realize that she looks genuinely a little hurt by Mikhail's words. Linsdale is filled with good, kind people. Maybe they stopped coming to Coffee Curiosities because Kate's grandmother didn't run the cafe very well. But they really are good. We shouldn't hold that against them. I'm sure they will come back here if we try to, reach, is that the right word? Out to them. Kiana. So please don't give up on Linsdale yet, Kate. If you could show the locals that this is a worthwhile place to come to, that the food and drinks are tasty and the service is good, this cafe will survive, right? I'm sure the residents of Linsdale will come if you ask them, so I'll help you. I blink at the two in the front of me, a little astonished by their arguments. They're both actually making a great deal of sense. But whoever's approach I decide to follow, that probably means we'll be spending a lot of time together from now on. In that case, I guess I'll... Oh, we're working with Kiana. Fuck Mikhail. This playthrough, anyway. Yeah, Linsdale is Baba's town, and considering the good memories I have here, I'd like to think this is my town too. That's not going to change. Getting the people of Linsdale back on our side, rebuilding a relationship with them, should be my top priority. You're right, Kiana. Linsdale is Coffee Curiosity's home. We should focus our efforts here. I'm so glad. All right, I'll see you tomorrow then. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Mikhail shrug, dissatisfied, but he chooses not to push any further. For the rest of the day, Kiana and Mikhail stay at the cafe, each offering advice from their own perspectives. Not a single other customer comes in to order, and for once, I'm glad. Planning takes priority, and before we know it, our discussion has stretched well into the afternoon and beyond, until the sunset calls an end to our little council. As night rolls in, I say goodbye to a sleepy Kiana and Mikhail, close up, and decide to catch an early night myself, knowing I'll need all the rest I can get to prepare for the toil ahead. My head hits the pillow and my eyes immediately grow heavy. I've just enough awareness left in my brain to wonder how well this new partnership of mine is going to really work out, before I slip off into a troubled sleep. Yeah. It's beautiful, isn't it? I look over to the girl on my left, her face brimming with contentment. Even the sun can't help but take a dip in the water. Isn't it wonderful? The sunset peeks over the horizon, surrounding us in a golden pink glow. The water ripples against the sand beneath our feet. It really is beautiful. But why? Why are you crying? Ugh. We were so excited to get ideas rolling yesterday, but now I have to actually start working on them all. Why is brainstorming so much more fun than actually doing any of the ideas? I hesitantly throw the covers off my bed, disturbing Hannibal in the process. Kiana will probably be here in an hour or so. I shouldn't make her wait. As usual, no one is clamoring at the door to order. I wonder how many people even know we're open for business. I get out the broom while thinking about our action plan. Sweep. First, this place needs a whole makeover. It looks like it hasn't seen a customer since Baba was a kid. The walls need patching. Maybe we can throw a new coat of paint on, some decorations. Next we need a marketing campaign, whatever that means. I got you, girl. Mikhail mentioned it, but it sounded like a bunch of business nonsense. But he did have some practical ideas for getting the word out, like flyers and promotions. Kiana and I can figure that out later once we get done with renovations. We also need to finish the new menu. Baba never had the best taste for what's hip. Ugh, where do we even start? Good morning! Hager, good morning? I turn around to greet Kiana, only to see her lugging an arms full of paint supplies, carpentry tools, and more. What's all that? Tools! Does she even know what half of them are for? What are we gonna do with all of it? You said this place could use a fresh coat of paint, so I bought some. And some brushes. She holds up a hammer and screws. Oh, and this is for the walls. Kiana's idea for home improvement sure is a lot less funny when I picture her doing it for the cafe. Okay, let's set all that down over here and not scratch up the tile. Where did you get... No, I think some things are better left unknown. Let's see. You've got 4 different paint buckets here, each a different color and different type of paint. We have nails that are all different lengths, some plywood. Yep. The wall cracks need replastering, so that's what this is for. The paint is for covering up the plaster, and this paint is for repainting all the walls with scuff-resistant material. We'll need some new decorations, so depending on where the studs are in the walls, we might need different length nails, and some screws just in case we need repairs. Oh, she actually knows more than I do. This paint is just for furniture. It's glossy but durable and should give them all a brand new shine. She might actually know her stuff. Where did you learn all of this? I love watching those cute home decor videos on the line. I might have spent an entire week bringing home craft tutorials once, or binging home craft tutorials once. This is great though. We might actually be able to make this place look great. I certainly don't know the difference in paint and nail types. No, I don't either. I'll start replastering the cracks. You can place this tarp down and repaint the tables. Sounds good. Ugh. I thought painting was fun. No, it's just a pain. I'm just repainting tables. Why is it so tiring? I look over at Kiana, who's staring at a replastered crack, wiping a bead of sweat from her brow. We've barely started, but I already feel so indebted to her. I couldn't have done this alone. I can't do this alone. Just her being here makes me feel so much more confident. I can't let her efforts go to waste. All right. Kiana jumps at my sudden outburst. We haven't said anything in the past hour. Is something the matter? It's lunchtime, that's what. Take a break and I'll make us something to eat. Oh, it's already been a few hours, huh? All right, I'll let you handle it. What are you thinking about? How about an Eggs Benedict? For lunch? I don't have the heart to tell her I haven't had breakfast yet. Yeah, why not? That's brunch. Brunch is a thing, babe. I love a brunch. Sure. She walks over to one of the chairs I haven't started fixing and closes her eyes. I take out the eggs and muffins but sneak a glance at her at times. She's deep in thought on something. We haven't spoken in years, but here we are, thrown into fixing this broken mess. What's happened since I left? Kiana? She snaps out of her thoughts. Yes? What have you been up to? Up to? It feels like I spend half of my time at home, half of my time wandering up here. What do you do up here? Some humans aren't the most keen on what's best for everybody, and that includes what's best for mermaids. A few corporations in town have been discreetly polluting the waters, not enough to be immediately lethal to us, but enough to hurt us over generations. That sounds about right. They're not doing it out of malice, just not caring, thinking about their numbers rather than the living things that it might be affecting. I think she means malice, but I digress. I'm sorry to hear that. What can you even do about it? I can stand outside their offices and yell. My father gave me permission to venture out to the human world to try to stop this, but it's easier said than done. The corporations don't want to listen to problems, they want cost-elective solutions. But I won't give up. I haven't given up in the past 172 board meetings, so I won't be stopped yet. What a trooper. If you won't give up, then neither will I. It's been a rough few days, but we've made so much progress. The furniture doesn't look scary to sit at, and the walls are looking more sturdy by the day. No longer will the place look like it's falling apart. It'll be the talk of the town. Just you see, Baba. Still, where did Kriana run off to? It's chilly out here, so close to the water, but it looks so inviting. Kiana and I would spend so much time out here, enjoying the view and the cool touch of the water. Most families have already packed up to return home for the night, but I can make out the silhouette of a person in the water. The person walks into the ocean calmly until they fall forward into the water. Hey, are you okay? I rush to the spot only to find a drop-off in the water and have to stop myself from falling in. It's so dim here, but I'm able to make out the person, albeit in a different form. Kiana! Her mermaid form is so regal now, but who's the man she's with? Oh! Have they agreed to the new policies? I haven't checked in with them yet. What were you doing the past few days, Lakia? You're not to be idling about. You're to fix this. Do I need to send someone else to finish your job? No, I'll finish it, Father. People are hurting. We can stop that. Remember that. The man gives her a nod and then steps into the ocean. Kiana just stares at the spot he was standing. The breeze ripples the water and her hair. We'll walk up to her. I left her years ago. I'm not going to sit by and do nothing again. I trudge through the cold, uneven sand until I'm a few feet away. She doesn't move. Kiana? I'm sorry, Kate. I thought I could handle both. When I saw you were back in town, I was so excited. I thought I could still help my people while also helping you. You need to prioritize the health of your own people. I understand. You've already been such a big help to me. I can't thank you enough. She nods, staring at the sea. You've helped me, so let me help you. What do you need to do? We still need the city to sign off on the new restrictions that would force corporations in town to dump waste in a new, secure facility. With just mermaids backing it won't be enough. They gave me a stack of papers for a petition. It'll need at least hundreds of names before the city council will consider a new anti-pollution bill. So we need more people on board. Wait, what was that marketing campaign thing Mikhail was talking about? Yeah, we make people sign the petition at the shop. You want my help with what? Sorry, need a drink of coffee. It's an eco-friendly thing. That could be the spin the cafe needs to stand out. You said we need a hook, right? I have to be careful to not mention why Kiana's adamant about this conservation effort. Yes, but okay. So you want to go green with the cafe and help promote this local issue. How are you going to do it? The bill needs 1,000 signatures before it'll be reviewed by the city council. We can help advertise that with the opening of the cafe. Let people experience an environmentally friendly dining experience. Yes! Well, it is a hook, all right, but only if the rest of the cafe matches the branding. What kind of straws are you using? Plastic? No. To-go cups? Plastic. Is there anything in here that is eco-friendly? Baba didn't strive for any products other than the bottom of the line. Mikhail shakes his head while Kiana looks horrified. You can't say you want to support this bill and then have all of these things that say otherwise. It's all or nothing. Yeah. We'll get some of those paper biodegradable to-go cups and, metal straws for drinks here. Yes, metal's the way to go. Those fucking compostable straws are the worst. The paper straws. Like, I'm all about eco-friendly, but those paper straws are the worst. Ugh. Yes, metal straws for the win. And metal straws for in-store drinks. I guess I'll pack up the plastics for a slow day or something. It'd be a waste to throw them out. Okay, that's something to start on. Have you made flyers yet? No. That's probably a good thing then. Let's emphasize the comfy and healthy aesthetics. Make sure the flyer feels like how you want the cafe to project. Oh, we'll draw kelp on it. Sure. What else? Fish. Fish? Yeah, they'll be swimming. Does the cafe even serve fish? No, of course not. Mikhail gives me a dumbfounded look. I give him a shrug and smile. Let's take a step away from the fish idea, though I do like the kelp idea. To go with the kelp, how about we include different organic ingredients we use? That can work. You could gear an entire campaign around informing customers on what's in their drinks. There was this one cafe I went to that had tours to go with their ingredient farming. Okay, so I'll have the flyers highlight different organic ingredients. Sounds good. Yes, we can have each flyer highlight a different drink and what goes into it. She's brimming with delight. Even Mikhail can't help but smile. I'll start on the flyers now. Thanks, Kiana. Mikhail brushes off his pants and stands up. Sounds like you two have it figured out then. Yep, I think this is a good way forward. Thank you for helping us. Well, considering I wasn't even expecting the cafe to come this far, consider it a freebie. Save me a seat at the reopening. I will. He waves and heads out the door. What an odd guy. I turned back to see Kiana furiously scribbling on papers. Maybe we should just print out the text on the flyers first and then add the doodles to them. I sigh and head back to the table. Finally, the renovations are complete. No, look complete. I'm afraid to take off some of the tarps until the grand reopening, though. We still have a lot of paint and tools lying around. But the majority is done. I never thought I'd see the day. Just wait until Baba sees this place. She won't even recognize it. Kiana had to leave a few hours ago to meet with the city council, but she should be back soon. I have to thank her for all her hard work. It's not the most quaint, but maybe a home-cooked meal will do. What do I cook her, though? Oh. Lamb chop with rice or pasta primavera? Pasta, always. I'll make her some pasta primavera. She'll love all the veggies. I grab out some vegetables and start chopping away. Can't forget the sun-dried tomatoes. I never pictured myself returning here in this way. Baba gone, the shop in disarray, reuniting with Kiana. It's been a wild couple of weeks for sure. But I don't regret it. Running a shop on my own certainly wasn't in my plans for the future, and I'm not even sure what I'll want to do it for long after we get back off the ground, but I'll see where it takes me. Of course, I'm not even sure if it'll get back off the ground. We've put in so much work renovating it, but it'll be useless if people still keep the stigma of how it was in their minds. I can't let all of our hard work go to waste. Kiana's put so much effort into this. She's worried about her people's health, and yet she's still here helping me so much. What a good friend. Friend? Coming in. Kiana steps in with a dejected look. Do I want to know how the council meeting went? No. They told us we'll need even more signatures to get it to pass. What? How many? She pulls out a stack of papers. All of these. All of them have to be verifiable signatures too, not just random names. She slumps down on a couch. It's like they just don't care. They can't see the damage. They don't feel the damage, so they don't care. They think it's beyond their control. If I could show them what it's doing, they'd change their minds. If I could just drag them underwater. Let's avoid you getting arrested for kidnapping and murder. I sat down across from her and placed a hand on hers. We'll figure out a way. Trust me. She sighs. I just wish I could believe that. She idly flips through her phone. an older version of a smartphone she got secondhand from somewhere, while I go back to tending to dinner. I don't know much about her home, but I know it's far, far below the water, too far for consumer-grade equipment to reach. They've adapted in their own ways to the darkness, with ways of having natural light, but a typical consumer-grade underwater camera would never be able to document down there. Unless we were to get a dive team with recording equipment, we'd never be able to show them what it's like down there right now, and that's if the city would even care. Ugh, now I'm making myself depressed. I stirred the pan vigorously, trying to refocus myself. Just a nice dinner for the two of us. We can worry about the cafe and the bill tomorrow. Just some quiet time. All right, here we are. I set the pasta primavera down in front of her. Her worries quickly fade as she smells the food. Let me turn on the light. I quickly walk over to the light switch and flick them on to figure out which one is for where she's sitting. When I finally find the one on for her table, the light busts. Oh. Ugh. When's the last time Baba replaced these bulbs? I'll get a replacement, just wait. I run to the back of the shop to one of Baba's knick-knack cupboards, but it's in vain. There's no light bulbs for the ceiling lights. Well, at least she has some candles. Ooh, a nice candlelit dinner. So, long story short, no more light bulbs, but we have candles. I set them on the table and light them with a snap. The glow from them in this half-abandoned cafe almost looks eerie, but against her face, it feels warm and inviting. A quiet candlelit meal, just for the two of us. She gives me a half smile and we dig into our meals. The exhaustion from the day, no, from the past few weeks, sets in while we're eating. I feel myself slouched down in the chair, the weight of it all rolling off of me. We both eat most of our food in silence before slowing down and meagerly picking at it. Kiana idly pokes at a bell pepper slice. I never realized how nice it was to sit down with someone for a quiet meal like this. At home, we had meals together, but you could hardly call it family time when the table was gigantic. We never had a casual sit-down time. Everything was under the pretense of being noble. She rests her fork down. I love them all, but it's so suffocating. My brother and sisters all act fine with it. Maybe they aren't, but they hide it. They play along. Is it because I play along? Are they just following their older sister? Should I have done something? She puts her head in her hands. And then you have the city council refusing to listen to us. We have to jump through all these loops and holes to be heard. It feels like I don't have a say in anything. Kiana, what do you want to do? And now I have you asking me the tough questions. Would you roll your eyes if I said I don't know? I feel like I'm being pushed from place to place, yet I don't know where it is I'd go if I weren't. I'm just an indecisive mess. Sometimes I think it's okay to go with where the wind takes you if you don't know. That's how I came back here and revived the cafe. I don't really know where I want to be or what I want to do. But I know magic is important to me, and so is this place. So if that's where the wind goes, that's where I'll go. Maybe along the way I'll find something better, but I won't know until I try. What I'm trying to say is if you prioritize what's important to you and move towards that, it'll feel less like a rocking boat in the sea and more like you have a hand on the wheel. Okay, maybe a fishing analogy wasn't the best for a mermaid, but still. You get what I'm trying to say. And I'll help you figure that out, if you want me to. We can figure out what the future has in store for both of us. Kate, thank you. Really. I love my family and I love my people, but I really couldn't care less about being a ruler someday. I want to help them all, but I feel like I could do more groundwork right now. But I didn't say we had to figure out everything right now. We can do it together, on our own terms. She nods, giving me a serene smile in the dim lighting. Yeah, we'll figure it out together. Yeah. Oh, we have a sign now. Look at it. Let's save. We haven't saved like this whole time. Come to our cafe's grand reopening. Kiana waves a flyer in her hand at the crowds, hoping to pique at least someone's attention. The two of us have been out here for a solid hour with not many people biting. At this rate, we'll have so many wasted flyers we might get a ticket for littering. We have salty kelp lattes. They're really good. She tries handing a flyer to a small child, but she refuses, clinging to her mom instead. Kiana sighs and looks over at me at our table. Our small table has complimentary coffee, more flyers on the cafe and our menu, and several stacks of papers on the anti-pollution bill with glass fish statues for paperweights. Kiana thought they were cute. So far, we've had 10 people try the coffee, and 1 person signed the petition. A few people took a flyer out of sympathy, but threw them away on the next block. We have a new menu, and a new interior, and no mold now. This by far was going to be the most exhausting day yet. I pour a cup of coffee and grab a flyer. Free coffee if you take a flyer and sign our anti-pollution petition. No takers. I'd take that. I would take free coffee always. As I take a sip of coffee in solidarity. Is the cafe's bad reputation that bad? Is no one willing to change their mind? Was it ever even possible to revive it? I look over at Kiana, who's putting on her best customer service face, trying to talk to strangers. Even amidst her people's health crisis, even amidst this failing cafe, she refuses to give up. Neither can I. I grabbed the boxes of leftover to-go cups and plastics and piled them onto a small cart. Outside, Kiana is still trying her best, so I'll try something too. I push the cart outside and head down a few blocks. It's been a few years, but I remember there being a popular beachside cafe down here. The owners were always pretty nice. Isn't that competition? Even if we can't get back off the ground, even if all this won't go anywhere, I can try my hardest. That's how I'll forge my own path. The cafe is busy as usual. It's around noon, after all. People are happily chatting in their booths, sipping on their lattes, and eating beach-inspired blue bunt cakes. I leave the cart outside as I walk up to the counter. The lady recognizes me instantly. Oh, Kate, it's been so long. How are you doing? I'm fine, thanks. I finished high school almost a month ago and came back for the summer. That's good to hear. How is your grandmother? Mia, and probably on the run. Oh, Mia. MIA, and probably on the run from debtors. She's away right now. I hope she's doing well. She's special, but such an interesting person to have around. What brings you over here? Want a slice of our chocolate chip beach bunt cake? Actually, I've been renovating Baba's Cafe to reopen it. We're going with an eco-friendly theming, so I got rid of all the plastic to-go packages but didn't want to throw them away. I came to see if you wanted them. I've got them outside on a cart. A reopening? But I know it has a bad reputation in town, but I can't let it go under. I want to revive it. We've already finished the renovations on the place. So you're sure about this? I nod, not losing eye contact. Why a push for an eco-friendly experience? That's much more costly than using plastics. I want to support the new anti-pollution bill, but I can't while also contributing partly to the problem. Our plastic consumption is small, but I want to try to make a tiny difference in my own way. I don't want to see our drinks littering the beach. All right, I'll take the leftover to-go cups, but I want one of your flyers. Interesting exchange. Kate, where'd you go? Sorry, I went to drop off the leftover plastics. I figured they'd be better used by someone else than sitting in the cabinets collecting dust. Have you had any luck? Well, this one tourist couple said they'd stop by, but I got a lot of odd looks from older couples when I told them where we were located. Maybe we should have just said we bought out the cafe and it's under new management. I sigh and head over to the table. The coffee is lukewarm in the thermos and the petition has 3 more names on it. Well, let's give it one last push, shall we? Ever tried a salty kelp latte? Or sweetened warm bai tea? Come try them at all our grand opening tomorrow. All of our lattes are made in-house with organic ingredients, only the freshest for our customers. Yeah, does that include a spit in the cup too? No, of course not. Baba, what on earth were you doing? Make sure to let your voice be heard. Sign the petition to make the city council review a new anti-pollution bill. Do I have to buy a coffee to sign it? No, just sign here. We may still have hundreds of flyers left, but at least Kiana is getting some signatures. As the day dwindles on, our routine quickly gets old and we take a break to avoid being public nuisances. Want to head to the square and tack up flyers wherever we can? Let's go. The square is easily the busiest place in town right now as people are getting off work and heading to the entertainment and eating places. Droves of people are walking around, talking, drinking, and more. It's a prime spot for business, but it's also a prime spot for advertisement. We can't stand around with the flyers here, or else we'll be loitering and asked to leave, but we can walk around to the local cork boards. On every wall and back alley here are boards for local advertisements, typically special events like concerts or book signings. They'll be perfect places to add some of our flyers, too. You head left, and I'll head right. Got it. We head off in separate directions. I head towards the bars and music venue, while Kiana goes towards the restaurants and boutiques. Most of the boards are already covered in tacks and half-ripped papers, but I still try to find a place for ours. Oh, hello, Madam Franklin. How are you doing? Toilet Chronicles? What is that? I place a couple of on open tables I come across that aren't attached to an eatery, and I ask a bookstore if I can leave some on their counter. The flyers quickly start to run out as I go from block to block, placing them wherever I can. Even if people don't see them in time for the opening, they'll see them this week and come by later. Yeah, definitely. I'm good. Dealing with allergies, but good. I'm glad to hear you're great. Empty? Empty. I guess we're done for the day then. Let's head back. Thank you, Kiana. Even if tomorrow doesn't go well, even if I have to close this place for good, I want you to know that I'm truly grateful for everything you've poured into this. Spooky, funny puzzle game? More funny than spooky? That sounds fun. Once the cafe reopens, I'll know you'll have to go back to dedicating all your time to helping your people, but I still want to hang out with you when you're not busy. Yeah. I wanted to stay here and help you at the cafe. Only if you want my help, of course. What about your people? Your home? I haven't told my parents yet, but I want to stay here and do what I can. I can do more good for them up here than down there. If this bill passes, then it'll save countless lives for years to come. But there's still more battles to fight. Maybe in a year or two I'll realize that I've done all I can and I should go home. But I won't know unless I see where this wind will take me and stay here first. Aw. We've been brought together again for a reason, and I want to see this through just a bit longer. I'm sorry. I must sound so presuming. Maybe she means presumptuous. It's all right. Really. I was serious when I said I want to figure out our futures together, wherever that takes us. In a few years, we might find our futures diverging, but for now, let's see where the things take us. Together. I really like being here with you, Kate. I like being by your side, too. When I was younger, I used to think being here at night was creepy, but somehow, with Kiana by my side, everything feels less scary. Oh, so cute. It's opening day! I need to make sure we have change for customers paying with big bills, and the plants need watering, and the curtains need redusting, and we've been preparing for weeks, but it feels like I still have a lot left to do. With a bit of magic, I'm able to quickly straighten the curtains and get the plants all looking nice. I was gonna say, you have magic. So something that I've always had like problems with like Harry Potter or like practical magic. It's like, you're witches. Use your fucking magic. My EA name? I believe it is... I've been meaning to make a command for that. But I believe that it's capitalized like that. You should be able to find me with that. I do feel this though. I have a lot of Halloween builds I want to get to. I don't know. There's not enough time. There's not enough time. We'll figure it out. I haven't built anything in a long time. We started doing the Tell Me Why build, and then I didn't finish it because I got too overwhelmed with how much cluttering was going to have to happen in that. But I don't know, maybe it'll be like a 2-year long thing and we'll start it again next June. It was too daunting. Like, as I built it, I realized just how much cluttering was going to have to be done. And then like the upstairs got all wonky and I was just like, I just didn't want to look at it anymore. And then I didn't build anything. I haven't built anything since. But I do have a lot of October builds, but I might be doing some off stream and so I can upload some stuff to the YouTube, because I haven't been able to post a lot of the games that we've been playing, because they haven't been very long, and I don't know, I just haven't felt like they've been good YouTube videos. So I'm trying to figure out how to post more on YouTube. 441, thank you, Cages, I appreciate that. I try to keep the YouTube popping over there. You can catch the highlights videos over there before they debut on stream a lot. But I've been trying to put, I've been thinking about putting the VODs up there too, just to have stuff up there. I don't know. Still a work in progress, but you know, it's all about thinking about it and trying new things. That's what I found. Thank Egg. Thank you. Alright. The chairs look in order and the countertops are all clean. I've got the new open sign ready to go up whenever. Just breathe. We'll get through this, somehow. Happy opening day! Kiana runs in and pulls me in for a quick hug, her hair smelling like a sea breeze. I'll straighten up the pamphlets. Why don't you go put out the opening sign? It really is time, isn't it? She squeezes my hand. It'll be fine. I'm here. I can't help but flush. All right, it's time to open up. I grab the sign from one of the tables and head outside. As I figured, there was no line forming outside, eager to get a seat. I prop the sign up and head back in. Kiana's shuffling the petition papers, looking over the names for the 30th time. After we close up for today, I'll figure out some way to help her get the signatures. Maybe we'll ask one of the venues to have some of the papers during their events. Some way to make it up to her. Ah, I barely recognize this place. Good morning. What can I get you? Can I just have a hazelnut latte? Sure, coming right up. I grab a cup out and start whipping it up, and the door opens again and again. We have a line of customers? I glance over at Kiana, who's just as bewildered as me. I can't let my surprise overtake me, though. I've got customers to attend to now. With a hint of vanilla and some hidden magic, I have the first few cups ready for our new patrons. Although we haven't filled all the tables, it's comforting to see what once was a vacant room buzz with life. Kiana chats to a couple who just received their lattes while I fix a cinnamon roll for a kid. Ooh, cinnamon rolls. Yummy. The petition sits on the counter, slowly but surely getting filled out. Maybe this will work out after all. I did, Seals. Yes. How'd you do it? Do what? Bring in all the new customers? I have a Kiki's delivery service ASMR too, if you're interested. No, the cross promotion. The what? Mikhail quickly whips out his phone and moves beside me. This here. You got featured on one of the most popular local cafe's accounts. How much did it cost? Your life savings? Her life savings? Let me see that. I grab the phone from him and look at whatever he's talking about. This Beachside Bunts featured us. Oh, nice. On the screen is a picture of one of our flyers with the caption talking about our revival, our eco-friendly mission, and our call to action to help support local businesses. So you really didn't know? No. I mean, I was talking to her yesterday, but I didn't think she'd do this. The door opens again as a family walks in. The cafe will be full pretty soon at this rate. I feel a few tears come to my eyes. Excuse me, it looks like I need to get back to work. Come back and see us. The last patron exits the store and Kiana locks it behind him. I deflate over the countertop, too tired to check the cash register to close out for the day, or even check how much we made. And it's over. How much do you think we made? A lot. She smiles and pats my head. You're going to get back pains if you sleep like this. Then move me. To my surprise, she walks around and wraps an arm around my back, lifting me up slightly. Oh, hey girl. Wait, I was kidding. Too late. Kiana carries me towards the back of the store and into my room. She sets me down on my bed. All right, get dressed. Huh? We're going swimming. It's the perfect way to relax your muscles and mind after a long day. Yeah, maybe for a mermaid. There's still some sunlight left outside if we hurry. Come on. Okay. Kiana shuts the door behind her. I have half a mind to fall back on my bed and sleep, but I know she'll just come in and wake me back up. Out of choices, I put on a bathing suit and cover up and head out with her. Has it always been this chilly in the evenings? She laughs gently, tucking her hair behind her ear with one hand and clasping my hand with the other. It'll feel much better once we're underwater. Trust me. Wait, underwater? You remember I can't breathe underwater, right? It'll be okay. She pulls me closer to her in the water. The water splashes around us as we step into the ocean. The breeze is crisp, but I don't care now. Hold your breath. One moment she's standing chest deep in the water holding my hand. The next moment we're both underwater. Ooh, we get to go see the Mermaid Kingdom? If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been able to fill out the petition. I'd still be scared of the future, feeling like I don't fully belong anywhere. But when you're here, I don't feel afraid. I feel brave. I want to stay with you in the cafe. The tides of change may come and go, but as long as I'm by your side, they can wash over me without knocking me down. Are you running out of air? Then... Kiana places her lips on mine. Oh, Kiana's ending. Oh, I could have waited, I guess, to take my meal break. I thought there was like a little bit more. Together, we'll be okay. Oh, that was cute. I love it. Well, there's that. And this game is linked up in the pinned comment there if you're interested. That was cute.